Welcome to this very special episode of the Madcaps Live. I'm your host, Jeffrey Rice, alongside my trusty companion, Chris Brewster. Except I'm going by Jeffadiah, today, and you are going as Johnny Chris.
I'm Johnny Chris, that's right.
Today, we pay homage to the great American West, and it's everything you're thinking. Explorers, settlers, miners, railroads, cowboys, cattle drives. We're going to delve into the history, talk about some of our own experiences traveling there, and what you saw in our intro was some footage from my summer trip to Texas, including San Antonio and Austin, which is where I got this beautiful hat.
It's a very nice hat you've got.
Thank you.
It suits you. Like there's
Thanks.
a little bit of like the white,
yeah,
and then you know the brown and other colors just mixed in. It looks really good, man.
Appreciate it.
Looks
I would
really
like
good.
to say this hat is meant for doing rough work. This is to keep the sun out of your eyes, and the leather for your hat is meant for style.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
well, you can clearly see.
Yours was more expensive.
who
Yours
the
is more
prettier one is
fashionable.
here.
This is more for just you go on a hike or something. You need to keep the sun out of your eyes, doing work all day. So
I'm more of just sit back, ride the cowboy, ride the horse.
Yeah.
Yeehaw, partner. Yeehaw.
So I went to San Antonio and Austin, and you also took a trip as well.
I did, yeah. I took a trip via Amtrak to Colorado and Wyoming, and I bought this hat on my trip as well. I got this in Wyoming at none other. I'm not going to tell you where because that would ruin it.
Oh.
You got to go do it yourself. Go do it yourself. Go to Wyoming, buy a cowboy hat, or a cowgirl hat if you like that too.
I think they're just hats.
Are they just hats?
They're cowboy hats, but anyone can wear them.
Are they just cow hats, really?
Yeah. So I'd like to get into my trip a little bit.
Sure.
So San Antonio is where I went for the majority of my trip. I did a one-day trip to Austin, but San Antonio is where I went. And if you guys don't know, that is where the famous Alamo is around there. It's that's the heart of San Antonio is the Alamo. So I'm just going to go into some history real quick.
Sure.
Spanish settlers built the Mission San Antonio de Valero on the banks of the San Antonio River in 1718. This mission housed missionaries as well as Native American converts for 70 years until 1793, when Spanish authorities secularized the 5 missions located in San Antonio and distributed their lands among local residents. The missionary was transformed into a makeshift fort under the Texas revolutionaries in the Mexican-American War.
Right on, right on. What do you think it was like back then? Like, just give me your initial thought. What was it?
I mean,
what was it like? What do you think?
Well, I wasn't there, unfortunately. Actually, fortunately, it probably wasn't a very good life.
I'm thankful that we're living in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So you know Davy Crockett?
I've heard the name.
What do you picture when you picture Davy Crockett? Because when I went to Texas, I didn't imagine that he died in the Alamo, the Battle of the Alamo.
Really?
In the Mexican-American War.
I picture this guy wearing like a raccoon hat.
He had that. I think most people think of Daniel Boone.
I couldn't tell you who that is.
Okay. Well,
I'm not
history
I'm
buffs
not up
out
to
there.
speed. I'm not up to speed on my
Whatever. So, do you also remember the Alamo?
I recall.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I recall learning a little bit about it.
Okay. So the Mexican army won the Battle of the Alamo, but most people consider it a turning point in the war because Sam Houston, who was the leading general at the time, he had that famous battle cry, "Remember the Alamo," and he actually went on to achieve Texas's independence.
Gotcha.
At the Battle of San Jacinto.
Very nice. Very nice.
There you go, some history.
Okay, so you went to San Antonio. You did your stuff there.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Colorado?
Of course.
All right. I'm just gonna say this. The first thing you see when you roll in on the train, if you've never seen it before, the Rocky Mountains.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was honest. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life, because they just go.
Yeah.
They don't stop. When I went to Wyoming, they didn't stop.
Right.
You can look out your car window, look out the train window, mountains.
You
mountains,
took a train
mountains.
out west.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the most Western thing you can. One of the most Western things you can do.
I mean, riding a horse out to the west would be a little better, but
that's pretty Western. So when I got there, I said, you know what? I gotta stretch my legs. I gotta get off this train.
Right.
My brother and I walked from downtown Denver, Colorado, to neighboring city Aurora, Colorado.
That's right.
That was 7 miles. 7
And what did you get there?
miles. I got a Frisbee at Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's all you did. You just made that whole trek.
That was the whole purpose to go out west, was to go to Dick's Sporting Goods, store 156 or something.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But you work at store 1.
I do work at store 1. It's pretty special. So we went and hiked. We went down to Colorado Springs. I had In-N-Out Burger for the first time.
Nice, of course.
Let me just show you.
Yeah?
Oh my God, it was so good. One of the best cheeseburgers I think I've ever had in my life.
Sweet. I went to Whataburger, which is specific to Texas. And I would like to say the grocery store chain.
Okay. What about it?
It escaped me completely.
Yeah?
The name.
Yeah?
Either way, that is like a staple of San Antonio specifically.
Is this a random grocery store?
It's not. I forgot the name of the chain. But I also became a fan of the San Antonio Spurs because I went to the AT&T Center. They're not doing good. We don't have to go further into that.
That's okay. So, Wyoming was cool, dude. Wyoming was really
cool. Going to
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
It's a straight drive up from Denver to Cheyenne.
Okay.
And right up the highway, the coolest thing was that like the speed limit was like 85 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah. That we get 65 here in New York State. 85.
We can hope for 65.
Yeah, we can hope. Most of it's it's slow. But that highway, I still felt slow. I was going 80, 85.
Yeah.
And it was like, people are passing me. I'm like, dude, you're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down. But, yeah, it was rainy once we got up there. It's super cool. I mean, I never thought, there was a joke. We had a joke that Wyoming wasn't real.
Right.
And so I just had to prove it. I had to prove that it either was or wasn't real. And folks,
it's real.
It's real.
Wow.
It's
you heard
real.
it here from Chris.
You heard it. The
Beautiful.
truth. The truth.
Amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. It was cool. It was such a cool trip. I got this hat, got a belt buckle too. Authentic.
Of course. It's got to be authentic. The one of the biggest hat stores is in San Antonio.
Okay.
And there are many customers of that hat store. I didn't get my hat from there, unfortunately, because it would have been like $500 or more.
Oh,
the hats go up to $40,000. And some customers include Pope John Paul II. He bought a cowboy hat in San Antonio. Johnny Cash.
That's pretty cool. But not Johnny Chris.
No. We can only hope.
That stinks.
You want to take a trip out there?
You want to go?
You want to go back out west?
I'll go. I'll go back out west.
Yeah. I would live out there for sure.
That'd be so sick.
It's the dream.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to get into the history of the chuck wagon.
Chuck wagon.
Create an authentic cowboy meal. Stick
Ooh.
around. Don't go anywhere.
Athletics. Aaron, there are 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture. The cowboy of the mid to late 1800s lived a manly life of cattle drives, where cowboys would move a herd of cattle or other livestock from point A to point B on horseback. The trail boss led a 12-man crew, which included the cook, or cookie, as they called him. His job was to man the chuck wagon, serving meals at noon and in the evening. And the typical cowboy diet consisted of beans for cheap protein, hard biscuits, dried meat, dried fruit, and coffee. Now, on a good day, cowboys would be granted a heavier meal known as son-of-a-gun stew. This stew contained anything that was edible from the livestock that didn't survive the trip, as well as any animals that crossed their path. That includes every organ that you can think of. Son-of-a-gun stew was a staple for the diets of people from all backgrounds. The Washington Post states that it was made by freed black slaves who worked as ranch hands in the West after the Civil War. They had very little money and they needed a cheap way to get protein for survival.
Right on.
Son-of-a-gun stew.
It sounds good. Maybe.
Yeah,
it sounds better than just.
No spoilers yet, though.
I'm not saying
we could get into some of the more.
It just sounds better than just beans and biscuits.
Yeah.
Like you get more.
It's
protein.
hearty. Hearty is the word for it.
Right.
And so they weren't always just known as cowboys, though.
Right.
No, sir. They were also referred to as cowpokes, buckaroos, cowhands, and cowpunchers. That last one sounds a little brutal.
Cowpunchers. You know, my dad used to call me buckaroo.
Yeah.
I think it was just.
We all call you buckaroo.
Everybody.
Yeah,
guys,
that's gonna stick.
Everybody calls.
Hey.
That's what everybody calls me.
Second in command to the trail boss was the segundo, which means second in Spanish. I probably butchered that.
My Spanish isn't any better.
No? Mine's
segundo.
Segundo.
Estamos empleando ahora.
Yeah.
Means we're hiring. It's on the door at Walmart. I know that. I know that one.
Can you guess how many hours the Cowboys tended to work? Without looking at the teleprompter?
I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. 16 hours.
15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that teleprompter say? What? Work days lasted over 15 hours.
But it was mostly on horseback. So they weren't like doing manual labor for 15 hours straight. They're doing cattle drives. So they're moving the cattle on their horses. So, most of the time they just want to travel.
Right.
It's like when you drive on vacation. It's like, let's just get it out of the way. Let's not stop at every hotel every time we get a little tired. They're just like, let's just do the trip.
Right.
And I would like to mention that as a kid, I wanted to be a cowboy.
I think I did too.
They had no rules in my mind. It was just the West, so they could just do whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
And I remember reading in a book that when they finished the cattle drive, they would just straight up burn their clothes. They didn't have a change of clothes.
Really?
They wore the same clothes every single day. They used a saddle as a pillow. They slept on their hard surfaced saddle. And then when they got paid finally, they would just get a shave, and
Right.
get a bath.
That's incredible.
So
that'd be so strange to just work all day, work for like weeks, and then
Weeks.
just done.
But your clothes are so dirty that you have to burn them.
That's bad.
Yeah, you get
That's
you get
real
one
bad.
new pair of clothes every single shift.
Oh, dude, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And let's take a look at this. Large brimmed hats. Like look at this. Look how I could fly away with this thing right now. That's how large this brim is.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, to keep the sun out.
Keep the sun out. Big hats for shade.
I would like to get into why cowboys were necessary. By the end of the Civil War in 1865, the Union Army had almost used all of the beef supply that they had, and the meatpacking industry demanded that. So
Nice.
you need cowboys to move the cattle.
Holy cow. Well, you know, with all of that in mind, we're going to pay tribute to these cowboys, these men, the only way we know how.
How's that?
It's time to fire up the chuck wagon, men.
Ooh. Fire up the chuck wagon.
It is time to fire up the chuck wagon and fix up us. Let's make this a big, hearty American West supper.
Ooh.
This includes apricots, beef jerky, sarsaparilla root beer, hard biscuits, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, the son of a gun stew. As much fun as it would have been to cook all of this on set, we don't have nearly enough time to do it safely. Right. However, we do have all the footage. We have the footage of us cooking it all. Last night, neatly organized. It's in one beautiful montage. Guys, let's roll the clip.
All right, so right now, we are on a mission to go find liver and beans. We have to make an authentic American West cowboy meal. In order to make this authentic American West meal, we got calf liver, red beans, dried apricots, meat, chicken paws. That's the feet of chickens.
Jeffrey, we need to cook.
Anybody hungry?
Anybody want some chicken fingers? We got out the liver, and it smells like blood, and just look at my hand. We just need to separate the pieces, and then we can cut it up, and then put it back in the pan so it's a lot easier. This looks cool. It's like a crime scene. So as you can see here, I'm dicing up the liver into smaller pieces so we can make a big stew out of it. We've got 1 pound, 4 slices. It doesn't smell terrible, but it does smell pretty bad. Here we go. Whee. Okay. So that's the liver and everything, but we're making stew. We're making son of a gun stew. Just cracking open the Walmart meat. Hey, this is what the Cowboys did, dude.
This is what the Cowboys did.
They went to Walmart, they got their great value meat in a can. Ooh, oh, this looks like an accident. Oh, no. What is it called? Son of a gun stew.
Son of a gun stew.
We're cooking it.
Guys, stay tuned to see us give all of that food a try live in the studio. I'm scared.
Yeah.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Major Discussions is the new show that explores the stories of students right here on campus. I personally came here to SUNY Oswego for the broadcasting program because I love to hear people's stories and to do work just like this.
Well, by golly, it's time for supper, boys. Let's see what the Chuck Wagon has brought into the studio.
I really don't know how I'm gonna do for this.
Where do you even want to start? Where do you want to start?
Here.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have spoons in there. You wanna get those spoons?
We've got. Toss those over this way. Just toss them. Yeah, just toss them. You can toss them. We're gonna start off with some. You gotta cleanse the palate.
Cleanse the palate before we even start eating.
Some root beer.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. That's delicious.
Just let it go into the bowl, I guess.
It might make it better, actually.
I don't know. We do have paper towels.
So,
here,
it's
just
true. Yeah.
I mean, now you're getting it all over the place.
Now we're making a mess. Now we're making a mess.
Now we're making a mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we haven't made messes in the studio.
Chris.
For the last while. Well, let's start off nice. Let's start off nicely.
Let's start off with a biscuit.
Let's do it.
We made these biscuits by hand with nothing but flour, salt, and water. Hard biscuits. That's the recipe that the Cowboys.
Mine?
Sure.
That's mine.
That the Cowboys ate, I guess.
All right.
Hard biscuits, I guess because they last longer. I don't know, or they're just easier to make.
It's very doughy.
Boop. Oh.
All right.
It tastes like hard Play-Doh.
Yeah, it really does.
This is not a biscuit.
It's not. All right,
The Cowboys had to make do.
It's not bad. It's flour, water, and salt. Like,
it's kind of good.
It's giving me hope. It's giving me hope here.
This is what I imagined Play-Doh tasted like. But I wanted to eat the Play-Doh. I wanted to eat it.
Oh my goodness. You want an apricot?
Yeah, so the Cowboys also ate dried fruit. We have dried apricots.
Dried apricots.
Never had an apricot. I hope it doesn't taste terrible.
Oh, okay. It's very crunchy.
I don't even want to eat this.
I mean, it's all right.
You know what?
It's all right.
I need to go to a happy place before we go to the liver and the chicken feet. You guys already saw in our montage, they are actual chicken feet. Beef jerky.
This smells so good.
Give me some of that.
Everybody knows what it tastes like.
Now,
Maybe not everybody.
when we're out west, doing a cattle drive, this is going to keep long. This is going to last a long time, and it's really good.
Sure.
And you got protein. It only makes sense.
Just gotta wash it down. My mouth's very dry right now.
Open up that sharp cheddar.
What's the cheddar for? I don't know why you brought this.
Another thing on the list was hard cheese. So I took cheese and I put it in a refrigerator.
If I could open it.
Beef jerky.
It's just me cutting this open. We gotta dive in. Go ahead and make yourself some soup. Here you go.
Oh,
Here you
I don't
go.
want to do that.
Here you go. Take it. Take it. Let's crack this open.
Oh my gosh.
I got it.
Oh my gosh. Can we get a close-up? If there's a way to show the visible here. That is a chicken's foot.
Oh my gosh. Here you go. Pour it. Pour it.
It looks inhumane, but
get going.
I just want to mention that
Get going.
we're eating the parts of the chicken that people don't usually eat,
Get
so it's
going
not
here.
wasteful. It's the opposite. You got some Spam, you got some liver, you need a chicken foot
Give me
in
a
there.
chicken foot.
We're eating a full
Let's go.
chicken foot.
Let's go. Get it out.
Well, it's
Get
a
it
little...
out. Get it out.
Woo!
Oh.
Here, wait, have another.
Sure.
That's a full chicken
All right.
foot.
Get yourself some food, because we gotta
gotta
eat. This.
You gotta eat beans.
We gotta eat.
Supper time.
All right. I'm going with the Spam.
Okay, do Spam first. That's fine. Makes sense. Even the Spam, I didn't get Spam. Here, sauce me that other container.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, bro. This is our homage to the Cowboys and everybody else that ate this garbage.
Wash it down. Guys, chicken foot.
Are you eating the chicken foot? Eat that chicken foot. This is our little mess kit.
Wait, dude, eat the chicken foot right now.
It's like a rubbery...
Eat the chicken foot right now.
There's a bone.
Holy smokes. That's not bad. That tastes like chicken.
It's not anything.
It tastes like chicken.
We cooked this for like a day.
Holy cow.
Because we didn't want to get any diseases.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the thing. There's a claw in my mouth.
Let's get the liver, and we got to get out of here.
Ooh. There's a chicken claw in my mouth.
Ooh, guys, that's about it. That's done it for us.
I got to try some
Eat your
liver
food.
real quick.
I've been Chris Brewster, and that's been Jeff Rice. This has been the Madcaps Live. Thanks for watching. Good night.